Yes, come on, Poppy. We need to film. We don't have time to game with you. Over here, the Lance. Look outside over there. What's that?
Hi guys, it is Jessie and Stacy with Chapter Chicks, and we are here filming. What is this called?
Top 10 books on our shelves that we do not want to read.
So this is books that you.
Oh, this tag was created by. We'll put the person here, and we were tagged by no one. We just wanted to do it.
We just had our side of fun.
Yeah.
But this is books that you. I think I might have did it a little differently than Stacy. I did it where when I pick out this book on my bookshelf, I actually like legit want to read it, but I'm just like, nah, not right now. And then I do it again, not right now. And then is that what it's supposed to be?
Now for me, it's books I legit don't want to read. Like every time I look at it, I growl at it. Like, grrr,
why do you not want? Why do you have books you don't want to read?
I'll explain them when I'm doing them.
Oh, okay. Okay. You go first.
Eat, Pray, Love.
That's a good one. I don't really want to read that one.
By Elizabeth Gilbert. Gina was talking to me about this book. She read it and she said that she didn't really like it. She kind of gave me some insight on what it was about. And I really didn't read it. And I got it as a gift.
I got it as a gift also for Christmas.
So, and it's like, thanks, but I really don't want to read it. It sounds very depressing and boring, and I really don't like books about somebody's day-to-day life because I have my own day-to-day life, and that's what it sounds like this is about. But eventually I will get to it, but I just don't want to.
I don't have my books, because I'm a big loser. But the first one that I picked is The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak, which is actually one of my Dusty Challenge books for this reason, because I want to read it so bad, but for some reason I can just never bring myself to read it.
The next one for me is The Irish Born Trilogy by Nora Roberts. This is a bind-up. I heard Nora Roberts was a good author, and then when I was at a flea market, this whole bind-up was like $1, and I thought, oh, I really can't pass that up. But after reading about it, it really doesn't seem like it's my type of thing. Like, it's about adult women going through changes, like that midlife crisis for women. I think that's what it's about. I don't know. It doesn't sound appealing to me. Every time I look over it, and I'm like, I don't want to read that.
It's one of it's our collector in us. We buy books we just aren't interested in reading at the moment.
Well, that day at the flea market, I wasn't finding any good books on sale, and it was kind of frustrating me because I always find good books on sale. And then when I seen that, I'm like, oh, I heard Nora Robert was good, so I decided to get it. But afterwards, I'm like, I really shouldn't have got that. Buyer's remorse.
My next book is Ink Exchange by Melissa Marr. I have started this book in actually reading it and put it down, and I've started it in audiobook and ended up not finishing it. And now that I've started and stopped it so many times, I just don't want to read it anymore.
Is that the first one in the series?
No, it's the second one. I like the first one. I think the first one's Wicked Lovely. I really like that one.
Next one for me is Graceling by Christian Kishore. I actually really do want to read this, but when I was in school one day, somebody started talking to me about books, and they spoiled the crap out of me with this book. Like, I know what happens in the ending because this person just blurted it out to me. And I still want to read it, but I don't have as much drive to read it because I know what happens and I know I'm going to be spoiled, which I was very mad at that person.
I started that one too, but it was when I was newly pregnant and planning my wedding and going to school and working, so I really just was not into that book.
I'm really bummed too because I really wanted to read it and I was really excited about it. And then that person was like, found out I was a reader, and he just started blurting out all these things about a book that he was reading, and then he said the title, and I'm like, oh, why did you just do that to me?
Rude. Book foul.
It's a book foul. I was very upset. I'm like, okay, you can stop
that. My next book is Evermore by Alison Noel. I think I actually have a couple of them. I don't know for sure though. But Stacy hates them, and I've heard a lot of bad things about it. I've heard some good things, but mostly bad things. And it's been on my shelf for such a long time that I just can't even look at it anymore.
I was going to pick the last book in that series, but then I realized I didn't buy it yet. That was going to be on here, but it's like, I hate it so much, I don't even want to buy the last one, but I'm bound determined to finish it.
That's the only one that's been on her list that she's actually skipped over. She will not skip over her list at all, but she actually will skip over that one because she doesn't want to buy it so much.
I hate that book.
And that's a big deal for Stacy.
Okay, the next one for me is Ash by Melinda Lowe. This one I don't want to read just simply because Jessica has given me some tidbits on it, and it's one of her most hated books. And she told me that after I bought it, so now every time I look at it, I'm like, I don't want to read
It's such a pretty cover, though.
It is. It's a beautiful cover.
It's just a horrible, horrible fairy tale retelling. I mean, I think if it wasn't supposed to be a fairy tale, like if it wasn't supposed to be like a Cinderella retelling or whatever, I don't even remember what retelling it is, I think it would have been a little bit better. The next one that is a no-no for me is Captivate by Carrie Jones. It's the second one in the Need series.
Oh.
And it's been such a long time since I've read Need. It was one of the first books that I read when we started booktubing that I just can't even remember and don't even really want to get into the series anymore. I need to finish
pretty
it.
good.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. But it's just one of those things that I just can't pick up.
I need to read the last book in that series.
There's only 3, isn't there? Or is there 4? I think there's
4. The next one for me is 50 Shades of Grey by E.L. James. It's pretty self-explanatory why I don't want to read this book.
I just finished that book.
I've heard a lot of bad things about it. I'm not really into the really weird S&M erotica read, but it's so hyped and everyone talks about it all the time that it makes me want to read it, so I have some insight on it. But Gina and I had a very interesting conversation about this book one day, and it was very funny, the things that she said about it, but not looking forward to that. I'm scared of that book. It growls at me when I walk by my shelf.
Oh, my God. The next one is, again, another one that I really want to read, but I've just had it for so long and almost picked it up so many times that I'm, like, against it, and that is Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly.
Oh, that one looks so good.
It looks so good, but I've been like, oh, I'm going to read this, and then be like, no, this one looks better. And so many times I just can't. I just can't.
The next one for me is You Know You Love Me. This is the second one in the Gossip Girl series. The story with the Gossip Girl ones is that they had these really cool covers that had the original cover underneath and then the show cover on the dust jacket and then a poster of the show on the inside. And before I even read the first one, this whole series was discontinued like this. So I was bound and determined to collect the entire series while it was still in this edition. So I bought them all before I even read the first one, and after reading the first one, I can tell that this entire series, and I think there's like 13 books on it, is going to be very painstakingly bad for me.
I like the show. I've never read the books, but I do like the show.
It's not bad, it's just I really just don't like chick lit books, and hopefully the series will pick up. There's elements in the first one I did like, but it's just every time I look at it, and I'm just like, no, especially since the titles are so cheesy. They're so cheesy.
But I like the show. If it's anything like the show, I think I would enjoy it.
Well, I read the first book and watched the first episode, and the first episode was like the first book. But again,
there's a lot of shows that do that, though. The very first episode will be very similar, and then it just goes completely off the wall. My next one is Rebel Angels by Libba Bray, and this is another sequel to A Great and Terrible Beauty. And I read A Great and Terrible Beauty and was a little on the fence about it, and ever since, and I was kind of confused by it. So now that it's been so long since I've read it, and I was kind of confused by it in the first place, I don't even think I could pick it up. But it was good.
The next one for me is Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe. Yes, what she said. Okay.
I'm just helping out.
The reason I don't want to read this one, I actually really do want to read it, but somebody gave me a really bad review over it. My dad, he said it was really, really bad, and it was painstakingly long. It's like 630 pages. So ever since he said that to me, like, that book is awful and it will take you forever to get through it, it's made me scared of it.
It did take me a long time to get through it.
And I love classics, but sometimes the classics that take forever, I'm just not looking forward to one of those, because you really got to be in the mood for one of those classic books that you have to fight through.
My next one is Tempest Unleashed by Tracy Deebs. This is another sequel. It's a series that I got for review, and I really liked the first one, but ever since I just haven't been able to pick up the second one. My reasons all suck. I just don't wanna.
The next one for me is Tempted by PC and Kristen Cass.
Did I read that one?
I think you did. This is the one I'm on, though. I really don't like this series. I mean, but I'm strangely addicted to this series. I can't explain it. I'm not addicted in a good way. The first one hooked me in so much that I have hope that eventually it will pull its act together and make the whole series worth it. But that's just me being optimistic, and I know in reality that's probably not going to happen. So every time I pick up a House of Night book, I'm just sad. So I know I'm just going to be sad after I read this. So
the first one was so good.
And there is times in the series where you're like, it's picking up, and then it's like, yeah. So
I really think that it would actually be a good series if the first 5 books didn't consist of Zoe getting a new boyfriend each book.
Yeah.
Like, if she had just picked between 2 boys and just kept between those 2 boys, I really feel like it would have been so much better.
I feel like it would have been a so much better of a series if Zoe wasn't in it at all.
Can we just have it be about Stevie Ray or Aphrodite or something?
Let's just cut her out altogether.
Next book that I cannot pick up for some reason is Seraphina by Rachel Hartman. It was another book that I got for review, and I've heard really, really good things about it, but it's like this big. It's this big. And I got it when I just had Emma for review, and I just couldn't read it. It was too big for me to read while I was having a newborn. Yep.
The next one for me is Something Deadly Comes This Way by Kim Harrison. Now, I met Kim Harrison. I loved her, and I actually do really like this series. And when I'm reading it, I'm all into it. I'm like, yeah, this is a good series. But for some reason, as soon as I put the book down, it's gone. Like, it doesn't have any staying power. I feel like it's good when you're reading it, but afterwards you're just like, what did I just read? Like, what just happened? And I had that experience with the first 2 books, so that's made me really not want to pick up the third one. But it's not a bad series. Have you read the first one yet?
Oh, yeah, I've read the first one. I read the first one when we met Kim Harrison.
It's just not that bad, but it's just, it doesn't stick with me. It has no staying power, and it frustrates me because of that.
The next one that I picked was Insurgent by Veronica Roth. I know, I felt scared writing it down. Like, I even thought about not putting it. But I liked Divergent so much that I'm scared to read the next one and have it be ruined.
The last one is The Fault in Our Stars by John Gray. Now, before you hit the dislike button for me saying that,
I said Insurgent and you're saying The Fault in Our Stars now. Unsubscribe.
Please hear me out first. I want to read this book very badly, but I kind of have a love-hate relationship with John Green. Sometimes I really like his books, sometimes I really don't like his books. And that's on top of the hype that has been around this book. I'm terrified that it's going to be overhyped for me. And I really want to read it, but I'm just scared that I'm not going to like it, and the BookTube community is going to come and burn me at the stake. So I'm scared of it. I really want to like it, and I'm scared that I'm not going to.
My last one is Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. I've only heard mediocre things about this book as it is, and it's kind of thick, and I mean, I've had it forever, so I just don't want to read it.
So, yeah, we tagged everybody. If you haven't done this yet, I don't think we have the right to tag everybody because we weren't tagged ourselves. Does that mean we lose our tagging rights?
Are we not allowed to tag people?
As a joke. I was
playing along with you.
Oh, okay.
You suck so bad at booktubing.
You do it.
Booktubing. Stacy sucks at it. Oh, mosquito bites, you itch so well.
I know, I have them all around my ankles.
I have one on this side of my leg and this side of my leg, right where my knee is. And it itches.
I have them all around the ankles and on the bottom of my feet. If you have not done this tag yet, feel free to do it. We tag everybody, even though we don't know if we have the rights to tag since we weren't technically tagged ourselves, but we're tagging you guys.
I thought you said you were joking.
I was joking, and I'm joking.
But now you're serious?
I was joking again, Jessica. I figured you would cut that part out, so I restarted the joke, and you killed it again.
You killed it the first time. I was just pretending to get angry.
Just do the tag. Hope you liked the video. Bye, guys.
Bye.